Good evening, Promise Talking Faith Walkers. Welcome to Tell Us About It Tuesday, where we are glorifying God by sharing the good works of his people. I'm your host, Katie Littles, and I'm so glad that you can join us tonight. Our special guest is Theron Sheffield-Brown. Theron, welcome to Tell Us About It Tuesday. It's so good to have you here with us.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. All right, so thank you everyone for coming in tonight. So good to see you all. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down in the comment section. And if we can get to them, we will get to them. If not, we will answer those after the show is over. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Theron really quick. Let's see. Theron Sheffield-Brown, better known as Your Girl Theron, is a Connecticut Yankee turned Georgia Southern Belle. She is a wife, mother of 2 boys, and a Gigi to 1 granddaughter. Theron is the creator of SuperWoman Still Standing Women's Expo, an expo designed to celebrate women who are still here and standing. Theron's gift is to motivate, educate, empower and inspire women to dare to dream big, as seen in her empowerment videos and live streams. She is the author of Dare to Dream Big While Taking Small Steps Now. Let me say that again to say it right. Dare to Dream Big While Taking Small Steps Now, a guide and journal to helping women think outside the box and write their vision. Theron's mission and life goal is to help women take small steps right where they are at to accomplish their dreams and to help women with their tags. That's the talents, abilities, gifts, and strengths. She does that through her online initiative, SWAGU, SuperWoman Around the Globe University, where she empowers women in life and in business. She is also passionate about helping entrepreneurs and emerging business owners to increase their visibility and profits by leveraging this thing called social media. Particularly, she assists female entrepreneurs, empty nesters, and retired professionals to increase their visibility, reach, and profits. Theron, again, welcome to Tell Us About It Tuesday. It's so good to have you here with us. And I am excited for this interview. Okay, so we're going to start with what I like to call What's the What? It's just 5 little random, not so random questions. So the first one is, what did you name your first car?
Now, I didn't have a name for my first car. My first car was a Honda Civic stick shift.
Okay.
I didn't have a name, but she was good to me. But she's Honda. She didn't have a name.
Okay. If you had to eat 1 meal a day for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Shrimp scampi. Shrimp scampi.
Oh,
I eat that all day, every day.
Wow. And what would the title of your autobiography be?
It's actually going to be called The Life and Times of Bushita Jackson.
The Life and Times of
Bushita Jackson.
Bushita Jackson.
Okay. you know, everybody had a club name, right? And so that was my club name back in the day when I was going to the club. It was Bushita. So The Life and Times of Bushita Jackson would be my autobiography.
Okay, look, I want to read it. Let me know when it comes.
I know, it's going to be funny too.
Oh yeah, it sounds very interesting. What is your favorite food?
Shrimp.
Okay, and your favorite Bible verse?
Ephesians 3:20. Now him who's able to do exceedingly abundantly above anything you can think or ask, according to the power
that worketh within us. I like that one too. I know a lot of times people use that like as a benediction at the end, but it's a good verse. So we are going to go ahead and get into the main part of our interview. So when and why did you move from Connecticut, and do you like being a Southern Belle?
I moved from Connecticut unwillingly with my parents to Macon, Georgia, and it was a culture shock. I do love it now, but it was a culture shock coming from Connecticut when it's mostly Caucasian, and then coming out here and it's like Black everywhere. Like I wasn't the only speck in the classroom. Like everybody was Black in the classroom.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it was a culture shock coming down here, and then with the the talks saying yes ma'am, no ma'am. I was taught to say up in the north, I say yes and no, and I called my mom's friends by the first name. And so
Okay.
down here, like Mrs. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so, but up there, like Josephine, it was Patrice. It wasn't like Miss Patrice or Miss So-and-so. So it was a culture shock and an adjustment moving down here from Connecticut.
Oh, well, I never thought about that before. That is funny. So you are a social media developer. How did you get started and what exactly do you do?
Well, I got started doing it for other people because I've been in direct sales.
Okay.
Um, and that's how I kind of started into the entrepreneurship journey, was with direct sales with Avon. I've kind of been in a lot of stuff, Avon, Mary Kay, MCA, TLC. I have done a lot, but they always teach, especially Mary Kay, about marketing.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know about, didn't know about internet marketing when the internet was just getting popping, internet marketing. And so I decided to call it social media developer because before then I called myself a dream developer.
Okay.
And so, it still goes hand in hand, helping women to develop their dreams. But social media developer is I help women with their social media. I've noticed that a lot of women, 40 and up in particularly, they kind of gravitated toward me and they needed help with their social media, with Facebook, how to post, doing videos. The main thing was doing videos and live streaming before it became more popular as it is now. And so that's how I kind of get started, helping women increase their visibility with that, showing them how to show up on social media the right way, not spamming, not tagging everybody, just the right way that I was taught. That some people, you can tell they had never been in no kind of direct marketing industry, so they didn't know how to put themselves out there.
Okay. So look, I think there's a lot of people watching that will probably be able to use your services. So y'all keep that in mind. So what was the motivation to write your book, Dare to Dream Big While Taking Small Steps Now?
I've always been a dreamer, a planner. And so my first thing was back in 2012 was I Dare to Dream Big. And so I had like a little course, some of my videos that are still up from way back, not say way back in the day, but it's 2012 when I started it. I was talking about Dare to Dream Big and the Dream Maker's Moment. I'm just a key component in women. We have lived out other people's dreams, OPD, other people's dreams, mama them dreams, the dreams that mama said when you're little, oh, you going to college, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you work that good job, you did all of that what mama them said to do. Now, not saying you always did what mama said to do, but mama them kind of had a certain path for you to take. And I realized with myself that in my path, I was a rebel child, like my son is a strong-willed child. So I didn't always do what mama did. However, mama has stability. Okay. And so I went to a private school here in Macon. And so then I went to college. And then I got into the routine of settling into the programming that a lot of African Americans do, working getting that good job. Yeah. You know, they get a good job with the benefits. So I got the good job with the benefits, working at the Air Force Base. And I ran into a lady, which is my mama's friend, doing Avon. And so Avon kind of put me into the entrepreneurship realm. And from there, I just thought about women and their dreams, that sometimes we give up our dreams. Not necessarily give up, we just push them to the side because of life. We have children, we got to take care of a sick loved one, or life just happens to us. And I want women to remember that you can still dare to dream big, but you can take them small steps where you are at. You ain't got to be all big about it. If you do a Facebook post or whatever your dream is, you can go to school. The first step is looking up the criteria for the school. If you want to go into a business, maybe the first thing is looking up what the criteria is in your state. So taking them small steps while life is happening to you is all about what the book is about. Is a journal and guide to help women to also write the vision to make it plain. Because a lot of us, again, are going off of mama them dreams for us, mama them plans for us. And so I want women to think outside the box and dare to dream big. But again, taking those small steps, and your first small step might be to write your vision. It might be to write all the ideas that God has put in your head, and go ahead and write that down to get it out so he can download more information on how he can give you the provision for that vision.
Yes. Oh, I like that, because you can get overwhelmed trying to do it all at one time, and then you just give up altogether. So
yes,
small steps, that is great. So what prompted you to create SuperWoman Around the Globe University, and how can women become a part of that?
Okay. So SuperWoman Around the Globe University, aka SWAGU, came from me in 2016 doing SuperWoman Still Standing Women's Expo.
Okay.
God gave that to me in 2017, but I already have my plans kind of written out each quarter what I wanted to do, and I'm like, God, can we do it next year? Look, God, I like to do certain things, and it's not going down to my plate. It's already, I think it was like May, and I'm like, we ain't got the time to market and advertise and do all that, God. Can we do it next year? He said no. He said the women need it now.
Okay.
And it was not about me, but it was up to me. And so that's where I birthed SuperWoman Still Standing Women's Expo. I had my expo in the month of August of 2017. And I loved it. I love the speakers and everything I have, again, because I'm into women empowerment, women developing themselves and their dreams. And so with me doing the SuperWoman Still Standing Women's Expo, birth SuperWoman Around the Globe University. But before then, I did have a networking kind of networking thing that I did here in Middle Georgia called SWAG. Okay. That stood for SuperWoman. It stood for Sharp Women Around the Globe. Okay. No, Sharp Women Around Georgia. That was SWAG. Sharp Women Around Georgia. And so I kind of like that swag. I kind of like the initials. And so God gave me the SuperWoman Around the Globe because I wanted to be a global. I actually wanted to be a global kind of online initiative. What SWAG is about, Miss Katie, she comes on our empowerment calls on Sundays.
I really enjoy it.
Thank you. It's all about empowering, encouraging, and educating the women. And our group, SWAGU, is mostly for women that are 40 and up. Now, we get some 30-year-olds in there, that's fine, but it's directly for women that are 40 and up, that are going through different changes in their lives, that have to kind of relearn some things because what they learned before wasn't really working. And so now they're changing their lives. They have children at home. It's all about them. They can work on themselves. They can work on their dreams. So I wanted a platform for women to come in. We get empowered on Sundays. I had to stop doing because I'm going to pick up our power circle on Thursdays, in which I help women, or we have other guest experts to come on there on Thursdays to help in business. But our empowerment calls, again, are for, I come on there, I have other guests, like I have Miss Katie on there, Miss Lisa, her sister, will be on there on next coming Sunday, right? It's coming Sunday. And so if you're interested in just coming on to the calls, because next month is really SuperWoman Still Standing month. And so we have the calls, free calls, and to bring everybody to come on in on next month. But if you're interested, you can type the letters SWAGU, that's SWAGU, to 706-222-1042. And so once you text that, you get an automatic email that will give you our Zoom call information for our Sunday's call at 8:15.
Now, the other thing also, is this the same number you would text to get? Because you also send out daily encouragements. And let me tell you, there was I really look forward to those. Sometimes I'll be like, she haven't sent me my encouragement today. But there was a time there for when I was earlier this year, when I first started receiving those, that they were like right on time, and they're still very good, encouraging message. I still really enjoy them, but it was like you were a sort of lifeline for me at that time, and I would be like, okay, she didn't send a message today. What's going on? And then it's like a few minutes later I would get it. So would they still, if they text to that number, will they get those daily messages?
Right. If they text that number, they will also get my inspirational, I call it YDT or Daily T. They will get that as well. They'll get that, the messages as well.
Okay, and I'll make sure to put that in the description box so people will be able to access that, because I'm telling you, they're short, sweet, and sometimes it's like a wake-up call, and sometimes it's just like God is saying, okay, daughter, I'm here for you. Calm down, calm down.
And I get a lot of that, and you know, discouragement comes.
Yes.
I understand discouragement because I was gonna even like right when I thinking I'm about to stop doing stuff, God says confirmation, either through somebody sending me text messages, say these are on time, these are helping me. And so that's one thing that keeps me going, is able to send that encouragement out, because I think sometimes I could be sometimes somebody's only positive message for the day. Because a lot of people don't have that many positive people around them, and I could be just that one positive thing for that.
Well, suppose everybody thought like that, that I could be somebody's positive message for the day. Can you imagine how much greater life would be in so many different aspects? I like that. I need to, I'm going to write that down, put it out there on Facebook. I'll give you the credit though.
But I want to say one more thing with SWAGU, because we are learning and we're growing. You know, even with that, I had stopped because I'm like, well, God, you know, but God told me no, to go ahead and keep on pushing, because, you know, again, I realized that God don't give everybody everything. So he gave this to me. He ain't really gave it to nobody else. You know, he gave you, God promises are for me. You know, he gives us different things, and that's our mission, our purpose. And we got to, it's okay to take a pause, but it's not about us. It's up to us to continue to do it, to be a lifeline to someone.
Yes.
And so that's why I'm building up the platform. We're going to begin to offer some different courses and classes coming up next year.
Okay.
Especially, I got one called, and God's been helping me on it, called Youology.
Youology. Okay.
Youology is the study of you. So
okay.
With that, you get to know a little bit more about your life path, your life cycle that God has for you, and just questions and stuff that you can help do your own internal work to know more about what God created in you to birth, what God created in you to give out, or whatever it is. Just more studies on you. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Well, look, go ahead and sign me up for that one, because because I can use the help. And before we move on, I just wanted to say to everybody watching, encourage the encouragers.
Yes.
Yes, because you know, like every day she sends these messages, and I'm pretty sure you have other people out there that are always constantly encouraging people, but we sometimes forget that they need to be encouraged also. So I'm just going to encourage everybody to encourage the encouragers in your life. You know, don't let them always be the one that are sending to pick me up or giving you the pep talk. You know, sometimes they need that also. So let's keep that in mind. So we already talked about SuperWoman Still. So the SuperWoman Still Standing Expo, you said next month is SuperWoman Still Standing Month. So when will the expo be, and will it be virtually or in person?
Yeah, so this year I was kind of struggling on, and I'm still struggling about next year as well, because normally I do it in March. I do it twice a year. I try to do twice a year. I try to do something in March and in September, but in March, you know, COVID started to hit. And so I was kept waiting and said, God, what you want to do for September? So I'm actually going to do it virtually this year, which will be my first time doing it virtually. And so that will be the weekend of the 19th. Okay. The 19th. That's a Saturday, isn't it? It is. Yep, it's the 19th.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the 19th. But while we're on it, SuperWoman, I have declared September SuperWoman Still Standing month, with actually September the 8th being SuperWoman Still Standing Day. And so with that day, I just want us women to celebrate other women, celebrate other superwomen that are in your life that have maybe have been through some struggles, been through divorce, been through, maybe going through some kind of disease, cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, or they've been a domestic violence abuse. That's what all about. SuperWoman Still Standing, period, is all about celebrating the woman, because we in the media are not celebrated. And that's how it come with the expo, because we as women are not celebrated in the news. We're not celebrated in the media. Mm-hmm. You got love hip hop, Atlanta, Miami, LA, and so they're just fighting, and they have a bad perception of us as women sometimes, and we're not celebrating. We go through a lot. We do a lot. We were the first Uber. A woman was your first Uber, your first nurse, your first chef, all of the above, your first teacher, and I think we deserve to be celebrated. So with SuperWomen in the month of September, actually the wristbands will be coming. They had the SuperWoman Still Standing, had hashtag I'm Still Standing. And so I'm gonna be selling the wristbands, and they're purple and coral, but I want people to give them to a superwoman in your life this entire month.
Okay.
So to purchase 5, and you have to randomly pass them out or give to somebody in your family. So when life hits them, because life will hit them, they can look at that and say, I am a superwoman still standing for a purpose. Yes. I may be going through something right now. I had one person when I was just passing these out in my area, and this woman, and it made me cry, because at that time, I did not know the woman was going through something. Her daughter was in the hospital. Mm. And so sometimes that you can pass it out to a random stranger, you never know.
You never know
the impact that you have on them. But it's, hey, I know you're a woman, you may be going through something or still standing from something. I just want to give you this. And so these are just to pass out to women in your life, your church ministry, whoever you want to, whatever superwoman in your life or in your influence or your community that you want to pass it out for the month of September. That's what you want to do. You want to celebrate the woman.
Okay.
And so I actually do a broadcast on thelight.live, which is an inspiration station, streaming station. You can download the app every Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning, in which I interview women. And so the month of September, next month, I will be interviewing superwomen. It is the national holiday that I made up, but I will be interviewing women in the month of September with alopecia. It's alopecia month. Okay. And so I'm going to interview superwomen that are still standing from the disease of alopecia, shed light on women who had struggle, and now, they're still standing through alopecia. They're not embarrassed about it no more, or whatever the struggle was they have, they've overcame that. And so in the month of September, that's what we're going to be doing. October is the Domestic Violence Month, in which we're going to be talking about, it's triple month, Domestic Violence Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, yes, and something else with the blue.
So for the Superwomen Still Standing month, are you going to have graphics or anything like that people can share on their Facebook pages with the women in their lives? Okay.
Yes. Thank you for that hint. Yes. I am. I'm going to do a Canva template. Since I learned how to do these I'm going to do a Canva template. Okay. And so, in which they can actually download it. Yes.
And add a picture. Okay, that will be great. I am definitely looking forward to that. And someone in the comments said that they love the idea. Lisa loves the bracelet idea, and she will be making a purchase. All right. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
So that we can get that out there so people can purchase those things. So but what advice will you give someone who is actively pursuing a business or ministry? Now, what I want to say is sometimes people they have developed these ministries but don't realize that they're actually ministries, because I'm listening to you and what you're doing is a whole ministry in itself. You know, you're ministering to these women over 40 and women in general. What advice would you give to someone who started but they've gotten stuck, or someone that don't really see what they're doing as a ministry, and they just don't know where to go next?
Well, I didn't really see it as ministry, but I believe it is. Ministry is really just to serve. And so anytime that you're really just serving, it is a ministry, but we like to tie in ministry, tied in with the church and Christianity and all of that. So we're like, oh, that's not a ministry, it's not a ministry. But when you're serving when you're serving the community, that's what it is. And sometimes it can take a toll on you. You want to give up, you want to quit, you think nobody's listening, nobody's paying attention, maybe because you ain't got the numbers and maybe somebody else got, or all of that, because folks look at the numbers, oh, I don't have that many numbers, I don't have that many numbers. But I want to say, just don't give up, stay the task. If you have to ask for help, ask for help. You never know. You never know. Somebody could be willing to donate some time or some resources to help you boost that up. I do social media marketing and management for ministries and businesses. So if you need some help with that, you know, I do that. I think a lot of people just get tangled up in the different components of it. Yes. Because it can be a lot. Yes. Especially when you want to do a lot, you want to serve a lot, you want to help everybody. But remember, just continue. If you have to take a pause and a breather because life happens, it's okay. Just don't quit, because people need you. And I've been saying it, and but now I do have I say your unborn grandchild, your unborn niece, but I actually have those now. I have a niece, I have a grandchild. And so you want to continue to make this world a better place for them. Yeah. So don't you quit. It may look crazy, and it does look crazy. I'm saying, Mike, it look crazy out there. It looks crazy. Definitely. This world ain't gonna get better. What I'm doing ain't gonna serve it ain't gonna help nobody, because the world's still gonna be crazy. Still do it, because you never know who might need your word. Because what I'm learning is the stuff that you're leaving your digital footprint. Yes. So if you do the videos, if you do an inspirational video, if you do a YouTube video, if you do a podcast, if you do an ebook, and people don't buy it now, they will. Ms. Alicia Brooks gave me that scripture. I think it's Galatians 6:9. I believe it's Galatians 6:9 about, let me look it up. Okay, but while you're looking that up, I have two more questions really quick that I thought about as you were talking. If you decide, okay, I'm gonna take a pause, I'm gonna take a break from this, do you recommend giving yourself a time limit, or just saying, I'm just gonna step back for a while and come back to it? Or would you recommend saying, okay, I'm gonna step back for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or, you know, giving yourself a time limit so that you don't forget, or that you don't just leave whatever you're doing hanging out there unfinished? Some spirit and God works in different ways. And so he will let you know. You can let the people know that, hey, I'm taking a break, I'm taking a mental, you know, you can let the people know what you are doing. Hey, I'm taking a break right now, God's seeing fit, or I'm getting overwhelmed. And then just come back. And so and let people know it's okay. People have to see it's okay. Yes. We get so overwhelmed with a lot of stuff, and we feel we have to show up and save face. We have to show up and save face, say what we're doing, versus going ahead and just taking that time out that you do need. Yes. And the second thing I wanted to ask you, how important is it to have a mentor as you're doing these things? Because as you were talking, I was thinking about mentors, people that are there to help you, to encourage you, to give you sound advice. How important is that for just people in general to have a mentor in their lives? I think it's really important to have a good mentor that fits you, and that fits your personality. I know that my business coach or mentor, you want to call it, I found her through somebody else, and I'm like, I already had a business coach. Like, I don't need a coach. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody else. But she fit me because she loved purple. She had purple hair. Her name was August. My birthday was in August. And so it kind of fits in. And I've been following her first. I tell folks, follow somebody first.
Mm-hmm.
Take their courses or whatever they offer to see, how it's going to be a good fit. And she actually became a good fit and a sounding board. Because you need a sounding board. You're out here. It is going to be lonely, especially if you are a trailblazer and a pioneer for your family. Or you're the first person in your family doing something nobody else around you is doing nothing like what you're doing. You may post online and stuff, but you're not close to them. So having someone as a sounding board is extremely important to bounce off ideas, to give you some shortcuts. Because sometimes we feel there's so much to do, and that mentor can give you a shortcut that took them, because they lived through it. It took them over a year or two to find out this one shortcut that can shorten your time span on whatever you're doing.
Yes. Okay, that's good. I like that. And did you find the scripture?
Yeah, it's Galatians 3 and something. I just got to go to the whole chapter.
Okay, but so while you're looking for that, so the next question is about faith. So we have a show called Promise Friday, where we explore promises from the Bible, listed in the book Meditating on the Promises of God. So what role does your faith in God take in your journey to get to where you are today and where you want to be in the future?
Oh, that it's the pillar, because life happens. Life happens, and you can't believe in nobody else. You can't believe the TV is feeding us fear. The TV is feeding us fear to not talk to your neighbors, not to go out and do something, not to change your career. You gotta stay with this, you need to stay with that. Don't change, don't do nothing different out of the norm. And my faith is very important, because I believe at the end of the day, there's only one source, and that is God.
Yes.
There's only one, every religion, everything ties up back to that one source of God. And there's a higher power other than ourselves. Something created us. And so the thing that created us knows everything. And so they know everything about your life, the hair on your head, all of that. And it's best to consult God on things. I'm finding it's best to consult God. And people think prayer and talking, no, God wants to be involved in your little bit life. Yes. Because he's gonna send your angel and your spiritual guides to help or do something. Because I swear, when I'll be looking for something, I'm like, God, or I employ my angels. Hey, I need to find my debit card or find something. Help me to find something, and guess what? I find it. Or if I go somewhere like, Lord, I'm having a bad day today, I sure want a front thing parking space when I go to the store. Boom, it's there, so it's the little thing like that, having faith in the little things. We have faith in you have faith in your job that you're going to get your check every 2 weeks. You have faith that when you pay this bill, the stuff is still going to function. You have faith in the share, but you need to have faith in God.
Yes. Yes, I like that. So tell us about 2 people who have influenced your life.
I'm still trying to find that scripture.
No, you're fine.
I'm still find it. One influence that has influenced me in my life is a pastor that I had, Pastor Karen Walker. She influenced me. I call her my spiritual mother, because she kind of took me underneath her wings. And I was with her in the church from when it started until 2016. But I learned a lot about ministry. I learned a lot about serving people. I learned a lot about people in general, but still having faith in God. Yes. He's going to send the right people. Even though people may do you wrong, I've seen it firsthand in the church. People may do you wrong and all type of stuff. But as long as you don't seek revenge and backlash, as long as you pray to God, God will do the rest. So she has been an influence in my life, taking me, my boys in as her own, and just serving. And I served her. I learned how she served. So that's what I learned about serving and different aspects of the church and just ministry and personal development. She had a lot of books. And so that's one of my influences.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Do you have a second person?
Well, it's like two combined.
That's fine.
Uh,
Most people say I have more than one, more than two.
it's two combined. My nana, my grandmother, was an influence on me. She was crafty. I learned about saving. My grandma saved money. I learned about couponing. Learned about unconditional love with my grandma, my nana, and I learned in her, even though she passed about 18 years ago, because my son is 18, how to be a good grandma. She was called my nana. I learned how to be a good grandma from my mom, my grandma, but mostly from my grandma, because I was with her first as a grandchild, and then I see my mom pass over to my mom, which is gonna be passed over to me as being a good grandmother for my granddaughter.
Oh, I like that.
The last but not least is Chanel Cooper Sykes. I follow Chanel, been following for her now, and her, even though we ain't met together, she's not like we met one time when she came to Atlanta.
Okay.
I'm so excited that when I met when she came to Atlanta. But some of her teachings, some of the stuff that she has done over the past 10 years I've been following her, has truly helped me to influence who I am, especially my thinking, my mindset. We're posting the posters all over the house with affirmations, declarations, all of that. She has been a true influence and inspiration in my life.
Okay, I'll follow her too. As you're talking about, I just see her picture.
Yeah, miracles, and even with Christian, just being positive and being that light for women and everything that she has. I watched her growth. I watched, since she was in 2009 when she first came out and stuff like that. So it's been 11 years since I've been following her.
Oh, that's great. I like that. She is great. So what is one thing you want everyone to know, either about yourself or just a general piece of advice?
Well, one thing that I want someone to know is that, people see my positivity, my smiling face and everything, but I do go through some things. Just because you see somebody's positivity and smiling don't mean they're not going through behind the scenes. It just means that they're trying to show up for you. They're just trying to show up and not, because the world already has too much bad news. The world already has so much worrying about this and that. So just know that not only me, but anybody that you see positive that may not post their bad news or post their life or their laundry, they always don't want to post it out, but know that they are still going through something, and know that whatever you're going through as well, that it's only temporary. That's what got me through the past 3 to 4 years with my son. I have a strong-willed son that decided that he wants to be street, be hood. But that's not how he was raised. His grandfather, my stepfather was a pastor. He was raised in the church, went to church, did all of that, but still chose that life, which he's still learning. He's only 18, so I'm glad he kind of learned it while he was young, and now I can see a little bit of the transition for him. But I just want to know, whatever you're going through, whether you have dealt with molestation, I've dealt with molestation within inside the family, whether you deal with rejection and abandonment within your own family, just remember some of that stuff is there for you to help share with others. As well as it's going to help you in life with dealing with others, but what you're going through is only temporary.
Only temporary.
That's what got me doing is, Lord, I know this only temporary. I know at the end I will win. I know at the end victory. So in saying affirmations and declaring those stuff over and over and over, even though you can't see it, even though you're crying and you got the ugly face and you're like, Lord, I just don't know. And Lord, but I know it's temporary, Lord. I know it's temporary,
Yeah. So really quick, I like that. So Lisa put in the comments, Galatians 6:9, and let us not get weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not.
That's it.
Okay, thank you, Lisa, coming in the clutch. So I know you were talking about someone gave you that scripture, and that and as you were talking, that really went very well with the piece of advice that you were given, that no matter what you're going through, don't give up. It's only temporary.
Yeah.
So that was right on time.
Yes, because again, listen, not us grow weary or become discouraged in doing good, because you will. You will get discouraged in doing good. Folks will be talking about you like, I'm just doing this. I'm just trying to encourage. But they're talking about your background. They're talking about your background. If you have in the background, you're trying to give an encouraging word. They're going to talk about, you know, for me, I have my son had dealt with disruptive mood disorder, cognitive disorder, and so kind of like mental health issues. And so he'll come in there and blurt. But folks will be talking about, oh, he's just bad. You know, so the good that you're doing, as the scripture says, at the proper time,
yes,
will reap. If we do not what? Give in.
Yes. Thank you. So before we leave, really quick, where can our viewers connect with you online?
They can connect with me on Facebook at Your Girl, as YOUR, Girl, THERON, Your Girl Theron, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. Also, if you want to connect with SuperWoman Still Standing, that is SuperWoman _Still Standing on Facebook and on Instagram. And don't forget, if you want to also connect, if you have any more questions, or we're looking for women to interview for the SuperWoman Still Standing.tv, actually doing something like this on Facebook and on YouTube. Okay. You can still type SWAGU or SuperWoman or to that number 706-222-1042, or you can just type a question, whatever you want to ask in there, dealing with interview or anything, then you can just text that number.
Okay, and I will have all of that in the description box for everyone so that everybody can connect. And I am looking forward to SuperWoman Still Standing next month. I'm looking forward to all of that that's coming out. So y'all be on the lookout. I will be sharing things through my personal page and also through Abundant Love Life and God's Promises Are For Me pages. So tonight I want to thank everybody for joining. Theron, thank you. This has been a great interview. I have really enjoyed talking to you. And so we will be back here on Friday morning for God's Promises Are For Me at 10 a.m. And this is promises from the Word of God based on the format in the book, Meditating on the Promises of God. And you can go to my website if you would like to purchase one of those. And we'll be back next Tuesday with another great person to interview at 7 p.m. Eastern. So tune in, tell your family, tell your friends, share this post out so everybody will get a chance to be inspired and encouraged like I have been on tonight. So I want to say thank you, and everybody have a great night.
Good night.